Here we are with the beginnings of our first episode in the Soap Noir soap series, and it will all be filmed in black and white, and so you won't be able to see what I'm doing until you see what I'm doing. So wait for the end for a surprise. Right now what I am doing is getting ready to measure my lye, but I have my lye water measured out, and I have all of my add-ins, my milks measured out, and I have all of my butters and oils. They are heating up on low. I'll heat them on low for a little while, and then I'll turn it to keep warm, and we'll come back when it's melted and when the lye is measured. Now that I've got my oils melted down and the butters are all melted down pretty much, I've got that done, and I've got my lye water right here, and it's pretty hot. It's about 204 right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add titanium dioxide to the hot lye water, because the fragrance that I'm going to use is known to discolor some, and I don't want that to discolor too much. So I'm going to go ahead and add titanium dioxide. Okay, I've got the lye water and the oils within 10 degrees of each other. I've got my extra goat's milk and coconut milk, almond milk, heated up. I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to set my lye water to the side a little bit, and I'm going to grab the sea salt, 1 teaspoon per pound, and I'm going to put that in the hot oils. Just let that melt, or dissolve rather. I'll let that. Now I'm going to add kaolin clay to the hot oils. We haven't added the lye yet, just the stuff we're adding before that. That helps to give the soap kind of a nice slip feel to it, nice smoothness, and also it helps to anchor your fragrance oil, which we're going to be using a very nice fragrance oil today. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the lye water to the oils, and my temperature right now is on low, and it's keeping it at about 154.4, which is good. I need a constant heat source. This is going to generate heat, but I need a constant heat source. So here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to blend this until I have a light trace, and then I'm going to add the rest of the coconut and goat milk. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and add it now. I kind of like the way that consistency is. 6 ounces of my total lye water, and I'm adding it at trace. That extra added liquid was warmed up so that I wouldn't shock the soap batter, and now I'm going to let it sit covered for about 3 minutes, and let's see what it looks like after that. This is what it looks like after about 3 minutes. You see it cracking on top. The plastic is bubbling and it's building up a lot of heat. This is a soap volcano. And so you got to get the plastic off of it, and whisk it down pretty quick because it's hot. And it just keeps building up that heat. So I'm whisking it down. But the heat is good because that means it's cooking. It looks like it may want to separate a little bit, so I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of stick blending and then cover it some more. By the way, my heat is on keep warm. That's the setting that it's on. So I'm going to cover it. And let it cook for maybe 2 minutes. And let's see what it does. My guess is it's going to build up some more heat. Maybe separate a little bit, but we'll find out shortly. Okay, can you see that it's rising again? Again, the plastic is bubbling up and it's starting to rise again. So this is a second volcano. But even though it's called a soap volcano, not a bad thing, because that just means that it's tremendous heat and there's a lot of hot air pockets underneath there, like it's wanting to boil. And so that's good. And the temperature is only on keep warm. It's the combination of the constant heat from the crock pot and also the heat that is generated from the chemical reaction that's happening. So I'm going to let it go as long as I can before I start to whisk it down, because that means it's cooking and it'll just take that much less time if I let it do what it wants to do before I stir it down. But you don't want to let it start crawling out of your pot. I'm not terribly adventurous when it comes to this, but I will let it go until it seems like it's moving too fast for me. See how you see it's turning? It's like it's folding itself over. Okay, I see it's starting to move a little faster. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and start stirring it down, letting some of that heat escape. We stir it down to where I feel like it's under control, and then I'll come back and show you. It has been, I'm not sure how many minutes, but it's at Vaseline stage. And you can kind of see that it's, even though I added the titanium dioxide, it does make it more difficult to detect the Vaseline stage because you have changed the color and the density of the color of your main batter. So what you have to do is you kind of have to look for the feel of it when you stir. It's extremely hot. It's 190 degrees right now. But you can just tell it kind of crackles when you stir it, and it's soft, very, very soft. And so what I'm going to do, because it is so hot, I've got the last bit of goat's milk to add, the last bit of liquid that goes into this recipe that makes up the total amount of liquid that we needed. Now this happens to be 8 ounces of goat's milk. Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's in the 190s. Pretty stinking hot. It's a catch-22, because if you add things when it's too hot, then you could scorch them. You don't want to do that. If you add it when it's too cool, you might seize up your batter. So you have to kind of hit it just right. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes and just get it down just a little bit more. Push it in there. Push it into the soft stuff. Golly, that's hot. Dang, dang. It's hot. Ay, ay. Ah, that's hot. Alright. I'm going to partially cover it so that it can have a little bit of vent for that heat. We're going to let that cool just a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll add that goat's milk when it's safe to do so, and then we'll add the rest of the goodies. Thanks for sticking with me. See you in a second. Alright, let's check it and see. Looks good. Let's add the rest of that goat's milk. Gonna make sure we get it worked in really well. $167. Alright, now let's add in the sugar water, the honey water, and the sodium lactate. And while I'm mixing the honey in, let's go ahead and add our sodium lactate, which does two things. It helps harden the bar and also helps keep the batter fluid while you're working with it. 160. Now, the last thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add a tablespoon per pound of Greek yogurt, so that's 4 tablespoons. Stir this in really well, and then I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes covered, and then we'll come back. Okay, now we're ready for the fragrance and to split it off. So I'm going to pour the fragrance in first. Ooh, it's still nice and fluid. That's good. The more I stir, the better it smells. It smells really, really super good. Very true scent. I like that. I think that's stirred in well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my first cup for the colorant. Here's our first colorant. I'm going to put 2½ scoops into this first colorant batch. Here's our second color. I'm going to put this one in the warm water bath until we get the third one mixed up. And here is number 3. Okay, I'll get this mixed up, and then we are going to get our big bowl out and do a, what would you call it? I guess an in the pot swirl. I'm going to get the big bowl out and do an in the pot swirl, and we'll pour it into the mold. Okay, here's where everything goes together, and hopefully goes together the way I've planned it. Let me get you to where you can see well. And I'm going to put this base color in this bowl. And now I'm going to take my other colors and I'm going to, one by one, pour them in the center of this one. And here's my mold. Let me make sure that I got you all in the mold. Yep. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, where did it go? Aha, where'd it go? I don't see it. Okay, that's alright. I'm going to use a spoon and I'm going to just swirl it a little bit. Just a little bit. Just kind of turn it around. I don't want to do a lot of mixing. I really don't. Okay. And this bowl is really hot. And I'm going to pour it in my mold, which is lined already. I'm going to pour back and forth. And I should be pouring slower than this, but it's really heavy and really hot. I'm kind of liking how this is turning out, though. I will tell you that. Okay. Now, where's that thing I had? Oh, have to be a yoga person to be able to reach everything. Alright, I'm going to try to ease the rest of this out while it's still fluid. I'm going to bang it on the floor. And there it is. There's the first of our Soap Noir soaps, and hang around, and very, very shortly, right around the corner, we will take it out of the mold and slice it up. So you don't want to miss that. So come on back. Are you ready for some color? 1, 2, 3. Okay, here it is. This is the Leather Lather. Here's the sides of it, the back. It's pretty heavy, 4 pounds of soap. Let's put it in the cutter and see what we got. Now, ordinarily, I would have 2 gloves on, but I'm glove poor, and they don't get any more in until in the morning. So, and I'm not selling this soap, so don't anybody worry about cooties or anything. I'm gonna make a 1-inch cut, and let's just see what we got. It smells just like leather. It smells like a leather saddle. It's really fantastic. So there's the end piece. So there's one. If I can get it to stand up. There we go. Alright, let me cut some more and we'll take a look at them. I'll tell you the colors that I used on this. I used cocoa powder, I used turmeric, titanium dioxide, and sunflower yellow mica. Those were the colors that I poured into my base batter to get this pattern, this in the pot swirl pattern. I hope you enjoyed watching Leather Lather in black and white and then in color. And hang around for just another moment or so and take a look at the pictures of Leather Lather, episode 1. Stay with me and watch for episode 2, Soap Noir series.